information at Mar-A-Largo. I want to talk to Shan Wu, former federal prosecutor and counsel to Attorney General Janet Reno. So, Shan, I know we've talked a lot about this as this story has developed, but now you've got the archives, Jessica reporting, confirming the classified information was in those boxes Trump took to Mar-A-Lago. We understand it to be the highest level of classification. They confirmed they're talking to the Justice Department about it. What do those conversations signal to you?
Well, they signal to me that the National Archives is doing their job, and now the question is, will DOJ do theirs? I think it's important to distinguish for our viewers the difference between opening the investigation versus charging, much less conviction. Here, it is a normal process to open an investigation. Frankly, it would be a dereliction of duty not to investigate this because it's such an obvious potential violation.
So I mentioned that, we understand from the reporting that a lot of these documents were the highest level of classification, top secret. Trump well aware those should never have left. We know Trump himself reportedly packed some of the boxes himself. He was very secretive about what he put there. I understand things like letters from Kim Jong-un are there now, but we know that, but there's a lot of boxes. And obviously, almost all of what is in there is unknown to us, of course. So what could happen to Trump here?
Well, when they look at those boxes, the investigation should ask some questions to determine what should happen to him, because what should happen to him really depends on things like, were there cover sheets on those documents that said top secret classified? Were the documents marked as such? Because those issues go to what his knowledge would be of those contents. Also, they'll want to ask people who may have seen those documents, helped him, to ask if he ever mentioned declassifying them, because that's obviously going to be his defense, which is, I get to classify, declassify, and that's going to be something important to look at. If all that looks like he knew they were classified, they're obviously not supposed to be outside of a secure location, then it's squarely on the table for the Justice Department. Do they charge in those circumstances?
So I want to ask you one other thing, Shannon. I've been wondering today. A federal judge late today ruled that civil lawsuits seeking to hold Trump accountable for the January 6th insurrection can move forward. Now, I just want to emphasize that civil lawsuits. How significant is this ruling? And does it mean anything for criminal responsibility by Trump?
Well, it's very significant because what the judge said was that this was a question of whether they had sufficient facts pled and alleged, not proven yet. And the judge said that Trump's statements were a prima facie evidence of conspiracy under this statute to interfere with someone holding office, Section 1985. Significantly, the judge did not find that was true for Giuliani and Donald Trump Jr. But what this means is the case will move forward into the discovery stage, and that is what Trump does not like, is having to answer questions, documents being turned over. So that moves to the stage which is making him the most vulnerable, and he will fight very hard at that stage.
Shan, thanks.
Sure thing.
Next, emotions running.